I've never really spoken on this topic, and I may ruffle a few feathers, but this is what I see. What prompted me to make this video is the fact that earlier today I heard a 14-year-old child say, with attitude, that she was a strong, independent black woman. We have been duped. We have been bamboozled by society, by scare tactics, by conditioning of the media, and by ourselves. Most young African American women of today have been raised to be strong black women, independent, self-sufficient, and tough. Some of us even describe ourselves as strong, independent black women, and it is something that most of us have been taught that we must aspire to. And if we don't see ourselves in this way, we are considered to be doormats or weak. When the vast majority of young black women of today describe themselves as strong and independent, it has nothing to do with the fact that Harriet Tubman led the slaves through the Underground Railroad. It's not due to inspiration from African women who were warriors in ancient times. It has nothing to do with being the mothers of civilization or the backbone of the community. In speaking with several young women recently who consider themselves strong and independent black women, I asked them to describe what that means to them. And what they said it means is that I make my own money. I can pay my own bills. I can raise my kids by myself. I can defend myself, and I don't need no man. That is the consensus of what they answered. They mean that they are able to take care of themselves and their children, as well they should be able to as adults. But they also seem to mean that they are like men or can replace men. And sometimes we do have to assume the role of a man because they're simply not there. But we can't be men. They seem to believe that as black women, they are supposed to put up with abuse, overwork, exploitation, underappreciation, cruelty, and just plain bullcrap, and endure it, and then wear that burden as some sort of badge of honor. As a result, they make reckless choices. They feel like they must always be in fighting back mode, wearing defensive armor, and putting up this peacock defense all the time. Hence, the attitudes. Unfortunately, this thought process leads to detrimental behavior and lifestyles, as well as bitterness and loneliness. The mistake that many people make based on this image of the strong, independent black woman is that they believe that black women don't suffer emotionally as much as the other non-black population of women because we are thought of as being strong and thus better able to endure emotional pain, disappointment, hatred, rejection, and put-downs. And that assumption is wrong. And the seemingly constant stank attitude that a lot of black women have is a result of this perceived endurance. See, a lot of us have been taught that we have to be aggressive and assertive to make it in this world. We have to display brute force, hence the strong part of the title. We have to have this perpetual chip on our shoulders and dare anybody to knock it off. We can't let nobody step all over us. Being loud, bossy, and belligerent indicates our level of empowerment. The louder and more belligerent we are, the more we will be appreciated and recognized for our strength. In trying to live up to this image, the stereotype of that image becomes a reality. There is much criticism attached to this strong, independent black woman title, although a lot of women think that the title brings respect and admiration. And at one time, it actually did. But the definition of that title has morphed from something positive into something negative. A lot of black women have been bamboozled into believing that they have to live up to or claim this title in order to be accepted and taken seriously, mostly by other black women. That by saying I'm a strong, independent black woman, it automatically puts you in some elite status when it actually does the exact opposite. Like I said, the thing that made me make this video is hearing that child say that she was a strong, independent black woman. How in the hell is a child a strong, independent black woman? It's like any and everybody is running around claiming to be strong and independent no matter what their status is. And it makes the whole thing pretty silly when you have women who are not taking care of a damn thing, on welfare, crackheads, just anybody, even kids running around screaming that they are strong, independent black women. It's a joke and a mockery. Another thing is that a lot of black women have had it pounded into their heads that black men ain't nothing no matter what. And so therefore, they themselves must replace the black man in all areas or become the man. They must handle it all on their own or at least maintain some grip of control on all aspects of whatever is going on because he can't be trusted to do it. He doesn't know what the hell he's doing anyway, so they have to supervise and be the one in control. The strong, independent type of woman will usually in her younger years choose to be with a Ray Ray from up the street type of guy who is not on her perceived financial or intellectual level. She will possibly get pregnant by this guy. And then when she gets older, she will go and try to get a guy who is on her perceived level. At this point, she might have children or whatever. And then go and complain about not being able to find a man on her level. At this point, those guys are not checking for her. And so once they start to realize that the choices in men that they once had are no longer available, that's when you have your ABC News specials and all your complaints and talk shows and everything. And then eventually the defense mechanism will lead to the standard statement, which is, I don't need no black man. But in actuality, what we don't need is to waste our younger years chasing after the same quote unquote no good guys that we complain about all the time, that we've been hearing complaints about, most of us, all of our lives. And the guys that we know who are going to obviously treat us like dirt, obviously aren't doing anything with their life based strictly on our emotions or on their so-called swag or whatever, and then we turn around and blame every black man that exists for that fool's behavior. We can't keep having baby after baby out of wedlock with men who we know, based on their track record, are not going to take care of that child or be there for that child in any way, and then turn around and judge all black men based on those fools. The bottom line is, if you don't need no black man, then there shouldn't be all these black babies that were born out of wedlock running around. Period. I hate the stigma that is attached to black women right now, and it's mainly black women who perpetuate the image of us that creates that stigma with this strong, independent black woman mess. One reason is that it diminishes our accomplishments. It taints our reputation as a whole. We are known for being belligerent, combative, bossy, controlling, and attitudinal, whether we are like that or not, and it is attached to that title. It has become an expectation for all black women to be this strong, independent black woman, to be manly, and a lot of black women are treated that way or are lumped into that category in certain situations, whether they are like that or not. That title has become a new negative stereotype for black women and a modern day slur, similar in context to hood rat or the N-word. Yeah, that's right. And if you haven't heard or seen a strong, independent black woman joke yet, and strong, S-C-R-O-N-G, trust me, you will. Okay? I'm not saying that any human being should grovel behind or buckle under another human being, and I am not advising anybody on how to conduct their personal relationships. But to say that you are independent and you don't need nobody at all, that's a fallacy. No one is completely autonomous. So the whole independent description is false. Yes, a black woman's burden is often heavier than that of anyone else, which is exactly why we have no need to try to be so independent. And to be real, the word independent as used in that title means I don't need no man, because sisters stick together like glue, and we do need and rely on each other. Some women have taken on a harsh and overbearing demeanor or the characteristics of a man in order to prove that she doesn't need one. And I'm not even sure if that exterior reflects what's really inside of those women, because even when talking to the harshest and most bitter of black women, most of them signify that they would like to be in a relationship with a man. But not many men are going to deal with that type of personality. This strong, independent black woman title actually gives people the impression that they can walk all over us, burden us, treat us like dirt, put us down, and still we rise, because we are constantly making it seem like we can take anything. I'm not saying that any woman should be weak or a doormat, but we don't have to live up to this ridiculous, neck-rolling, finger-snapping, belligerent, manly image. We can be resilient and strong, solid. We can have careers and excel in those careers, have an education, and take care of business, and still be feminine, loving, nurturing, provide comfort, peace of mind, and have confidence in ourselves and in our mate without trying to be like a man. What is the purpose or the reward of belligerence and jumping bad in a man's face? Why desire to be a man or be like a man? Why desire to be autonomous? People need people. Why is independence in that manner a goal? I don't desire any of that. I don't want to do it all on my own. Does that make me a doormat? No, it does not. I don't understand the desire to have a chaotic, drama-filled life of conflict and anger. Some black women actually prefer not to have the title of strong, independent black woman and all the perceived attributes that go along with it put on us based on the image that women who scream that mantra project. Okay? Why not just let your life speak for itself? A true strong black woman understands that she needs other people and she chooses her mate wisely. She does not have to endure a bunch of BS and put herself in dangerous and detrimental situations to prove that she is strong. But if she finds herself in those situations, she knows to get out and she is resilient. She doesn't have to be loud, pushy, or in control of everything, nor does she need to try to prevent a man from being a man in order to prove her strength. She displays an aura of experience, wisdom, grace, femininity, resilience, and quiet power. And by quiet power, I don't mean bowing down and keeping your mouth shut. I mean, you command respect, therefore you never have to demand it. If you are capable of taking care of your business and taking care of your children or whatever, you don't have to announce it or act it out. It just is what it is.